Football loves drama, it loves rivalry, it loves moments that feel bigger than 90 minutes. And when you bring together two names like Ronaldinho and Cristiano Ronaldo, imagination runs wild. One was the smiling magician who made the ball obey him like it was tied to his laces. The other was the relentless machine who turned sweat into silverware and ambition into records. So when fans talk about the match that made Ronaldinho hate Ronaldo, they aren't really talking about hatred. They're talking about a turning point. A night when the balance of power shifted. A night when the world realized that football's crown was quietly moving from one head to another. In the mid-2000s, Ronaldinho was football. At FC Barcelona, he wasn't just the best player on the pitch, he was the spirit of the game itself. His elastic dribbles, no-look passes, audacious chips and fearless creativity made defenders look like training cones. When he won the Ballon d'Or in 2005, it felt inevitable. He had restored Barcelona to glory, helped deliver the Champions League in 2006, and turned the Camp Nou into a theater of joy. Children copied his free kicks. Teenagers wore his headband. Even rival fans applauded him. That standing ovation at the Santiago Bernabeu after his masterclass against Real Madrid. That wasn't normal. That was respect reserved for the rarest talents in history. Ronaldinho didn't just dominate, he enchanted. Meanwhile, in England, a skinny Portuguese winger was learning how to survive. Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United with tricks and stepovers, but critics said he was flashy, selfish, inconsistent. He had pace. He had flair. But did he have substance? Sir Alex Ferguson believed he did. Under Ferguson's guidance, Ronaldo transformed. He didn't abandon his flair, he refined it. He built muscle. He studied movement. He practiced free kicks for hours. He worked on his weak foot until it wasn't weak anymore. While Ronaldinho danced with the ball, Ronaldo trained with it. While one relied on natural rhythm, the other engineered perfection. By the 2007-08 season, everything was aligning. Ronaldo was no longer just a winger. He was Manchester United's main weapon. Goals poured from him, headers, rockets, penalties, tap-ins. He wasn't scoring occasionally, he was scoring relentlessly. 42 goals in all competitions that season. That's not flair, that's dominance. Manchester United stormed through England and Europe, and Ronaldo was at the center of it all. Every defender in the Premier League knew his name. Every Champions League opponent built plans around stopping him. And still, he delivered. Now imagine the contrast. Ronaldinho at Barcelona was still brilliant, but something had shifted. Injuries crept in, fitness dipped, off-field distractions whispered. He still had magic, but it wasn't as frequent. His influence wasn't as overwhelming. Younger players were rising around him. Lionel Messi was emerging. The team dynamic was changing. And while Ronaldinho's smile remained, the unstoppable aura had slightly dimmed. The match that symbolized this shift wasn't built on trash talk or open rivalry. Ronaldinho and Ronaldo were never enemies. They respected each other. But in football, symbolism matters more than words. In April 2008, Manchester United faced Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final. It was the kind of tie that shapes legacies. Barcelona carried the tradition of artistry. United carried the hunger of resurgence. The first leg at Camp Nou ended 0-0. Tense, tactical, cagey. The world waited for the return leg at Old Trafford. Old Trafford that night was electric. The air felt heavy with expectation. Ronaldo didn't wait long. In the 14th minute, he struck a powerful right-footed shot that deflected past the goalkeeper and into the net. It wasn't a trick goal. It wasn't a rainbow flick. It was decisive, clinical, ruthless. The stadium exploded. United fans roared. Barcelona were stunned. And Ronaldinho, he wasn't even on the pitch. Injuries had kept him out of the squad. That detail matters. While Ronaldo led his team into the Champions League final, Ronaldinho watched from the sidelines as Barcelona's era trembled. Manchester United won 1-0 on aggregate and advanced. Ronaldo went on to lift the Champions League trophy in Moscow weeks later, scoring in the final against Chelsea. That season, he claimed the Ballon d'Or. He was officially crowned the best player in the world. It wasn't just about one match. It was about what that match represented. A passing of momentum, a shift in football's center of gravity. Did Ronaldinho hate Ronaldo? No, but did he recognize what was happening? Absolutely. Every legend understands when the next wave arrives. Ronaldinho had once been the unstoppable force that defenders feared. Now Ronaldo was that force. The headlines had changed. The spotlight had moved. Football's narrative had found a new protagonist. And the differences in their styles made the contrast even sharper. Ronaldinho's greatness felt organic. He played with rhythm and imagination. His joy was contagious. Ronaldo's greatness felt constructed, every sprint calculated, every jump rehearsed, every celebration deliberate. One played like he was improvising jazz. The other like he was composing a symphony through repetition. Fans debated which style was superior. Magic or muscle, smile or snarl, freedom or focus. After that 2008 season, Ronaldo's career accelerated into another dimension. He moved to Real Madrid for a world record fee. In Spain, he shattered goal records season after season. He turned El Clasico into a battlefield. He won more Ballon d'Or trophies, more Champions League titles, more scoring crowns. His consistency was terrifying. While Ronaldinho transitioned away from Europe's elite stage, Ronaldo entrenched himself at the summit. It's important to remember that football doesn't erase legends. Ronaldinho's impact never disappeared. Players still speak about him with reverence. Fans still watch his highlight reels in disbelief. He made football feel like a playground. But the modern game evolved. Athleticism increased. Defensive systems tightened. Margins shrank. Ronaldo adapted to that environment perfectly. He became the prototype of the modern forward, fast, strong, aerially dominant, mentally unbreakable. If there was a moment Ronaldinho might have felt the sting of transition, it was watching Ronaldo lift that first Ballon d'Or. Because Ronaldinho had been there. He knew what it meant to hold football's highest individual honor. He knew the feeling of being recognized as the best on earth. Seeing someone else take that spotlight doesn't create hatred. It creates awareness. The throne is never permanent. The match that made Ronaldinho hate Ronaldo is really the match that made the world realize a new king had arrived. It was about narrative, about evolution, about how quickly football can shift. One season you were untouchable. The next, someone hungrier, fitter, and more relentless pushes past you. But here's what makes this story powerful. Ronaldinho never spoke with bitterness. Years later, he praised Ronaldo's discipline and achievements. He acknowledged his greatness. That's what true legends do. They recognize excellence even when it surpasses their own era. For fans, though, the drama lives on. Because football thrives on storytelling. It thrives on, what if? What if Ronaldinho had maintained his peak fitness? What if he had extended his prime another 5 years? Would Ronaldo's rise have felt different, or was it inevitable? These questions keep debates alive in barbershops, online forums, and stadium stands. The truth is, Ronaldo didn't replace Ronaldinho by copying him. He replaced him by becoming something different. He didn't try to outsmile him. He didn't try to out-trick him. He outworked everyone. And in an era where physical conditioning and tactical discipline became more important than ever, that approach proved unstoppable. So when people talk about hatred, they're really describing intensity. The intensity of competition. The intensity of watching your era fade while another begins. Football history is full of these transitions. Pelé to Maradona. Maradona to Zidane. Zidane to Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho to Ronaldo and Messi. Each era feels eternal until it isn't. That night at Old Trafford in 2008 didn't feature Ronaldinho dribbling past 5 defenders. It didn't showcase a dramatic confrontation between the two stars. But it symbolized change. Ronaldo's goal, United's victory, the march to Moscow, the Ballon d'Or ceremony months later. It was the beginning of a reign defined not by flashes, but by longevity. And here's the part that makes it unforgettable. Ronaldo didn't slow down. Most players peak and decline. Ronaldo extended his dominance into his 30s, then beyond. He reinvented himself from winger to striker. From dribbler to finisher. From prospect to icon. Ronaldinho's era was brilliant but brief. Ronaldo's was relentless and prolonged. In the end, football doesn't need hatred to create drama. It needs excellence. Ronaldinho gave the world joy. Ronaldo gave the world obsession. One made you smile. The other made you stare in disbelief at the numbers. And when their timelines crossed, it created one of the most fascinating transitions in modern sports history. So no, Ronaldinho didn't hate Ronaldo. But that match, that season, that Ballon d'Or night, marked the moment when the world turned the page. The magician stepped aside, the machine stepped forward, and football, as it always does, crowned a new king. Because greatness doesn't disappear, it evolves.